Hello GCC, we're going to start with the Chapter 10 videos now on chemical reactions. First of all, we have to mention the law of conservation of matter. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. Because of this, the mass of the chemicals we start with, called the reactants, those are on the left side, must equal the mass of the products we end with, called the products, those are on the right side of the arrow. So, the reactant mass and the product mass has to be equal. So if we start with 100 grams, we end with 100 grams because we can't create or destroy matter. Another interpretation is to say you have to start and end a reaction with the same number and type of atoms. So if I start with 254 carbon atoms, I have to end with 254 carbon atoms. So because of this, chemical reactions have to be balanced. Balancing chemical reactions. So remember, first you always write a chemical reaction out with the correct formulas. If you have an ionic formula, you have to check the charges. That is a metal with a nonmetal. So anytime you're writing a reaction and you have a metal with a nonmetal, check your charges. Make sure it adds up to 0. The last thing you do when you write a chemical reaction is actually the balancing part. That's the last thing you do. To balance, you put numbers in front of the chemical formulas so that you have the same number of atoms on both sides, like we talked about. These numbers are called coefficients. They should always be the lowest denominator possible. For example, if you have a 4 and a 2, both of those can be divided by 2 or reduced to a 2 and a 1. So always reduce your coefficients to the lowest denominator possible. If you look at the bottom of the slide, we have a balanced reaction. We have 2 H2 gases plus 1, when there's nothing it's a 1, understood 1 O2 gas, and then the arrow making 2 H2O gases. Look at the little pictures. On the left side of the arrow, there are 4 gray hydrogen atoms. On the right side of the arrow, there are also 4 gray hydrogen atoms. Now look, on the left side of the arrow, there are 2 big white oxygen atoms. And on the other side, there's also 2 big white oxygen atoms. So we have the same number of atoms on both sides because of those 2's. 2 H2 gas plus 1 O2 gas makes 2 H2O gas. We're going to balance these reactions now. H2 gas plus Br2 liquid makes HBr. So if we look on the left side of the arrow, the reactant side, we have 2 hydrogens and 2 bromines. On the other side of the arrow, the product side, we have an H and a Br, just one H and one Br. So that's not the same on both sides. We have 2 hydrogens on this side, only 1 on the other side. We have 2 bromines on the first side, only 1 on the other side. What can we do to fix that? If you said put a 2 in front of HBr, you're correct. If you put a 2 in front of HBr, it goes to the whole thing, HBr. So then we have 2 H's and 2 Brs. So that's what we do. Now I want you to pause this video and try to balance the remaining 2 reactions. So pause now. And here are the answers. As said, the first reaction, H2 gas plus Br2 liquid, makes 2 HBr gases. Now the second reaction is 1 N2 gas plus 3 H2 gases makes 2 NH3 gases. So look at this, we have 2 nitrogens on both sides, N2, and then on the other side we have 2 NH3, so there's 2 N's. Now we have 6 hydrogens on both sides. If you look on the reactant side, we have 3 H2s. That's 3 times 2 is 6 H's. And on the product side, we have 2 NH3s. So for hydrogen, there's 3 of them, but there's 2 molecules, so 6. 2 times 3 is 6 H's. And then the last one was 2 CO gas plus O2 gas makes 2 CO2 gas. All right, so we balanced those 3 reactions. You should also watch the other video on balancing reactions before you continue any further in the Chapter 10 videos. Watch the balancing reaction videos next. Then come back and watch the remaining Chapter 10 videos. Have a great day. Goodbye, GCC.